in general, the work that I've been doing in like commercials and personally is about practical tricks, I guess, in front of the camera. So machinery, illusions, things that are impressive in camera, and trying to pull things off in a way that works with the medium, so it doesn't look like you've been tricked. And then OK Go came to us through a mutual friend, and they were thinking about these illusions by an artist called Verini, and they're very simple, straightforward illusions that it's painted surfaces in a 3D space that, when seen from a certain angle, compress into a 2D image. And they were like, we want to do something like this. We want to build these for camera or whatever. And then so we just worked together with the band to come up with a whole series of illusions based on things that we were interested in, as well as what the band liked. The CGI is so good. What's difficult is to convince people that they're seeing something that's real. So I think that's a big challenge, and that's what we were trying to achieve is making people really understand. They were seeing one take, something with no CGI tricks. And I think in general, the way videos are going, I think OK Go is a really interesting example because they were right at the forefront of viral video. I think their first video that went viral was them dancing in their backyard that Damien's sister choreographed. And that was like back when you had to actually download a video to your computer, and that got like thousands and thousands of downloads. So it's like bands are more about, I mean, a lot of the more independent bands, it seems, are more about their brand and selling themselves as artists across all media, like videos. We were lucky enough to have a month of concepting, and then we got a great space in downtown Brooklyn, 100,000 square feet, and we got that for a month. So we were able to develop our ideas and then go to a space and be like, how are we going to fit all this stuff into this space? So that was a really interesting journey. And then, of course, no matter how much time you have, it's never enough. So especially knowing that we had to get everything in camera in one take. So it wasn't until the second day of our 2-day shoot, until like the early afternoon of that second day, that we actually started getting full runs through. And then as far as how many takes, we only were able to get about 60 takes. But then within those 60 takes, we only got about 30 that were all the way through, because reset was kind of extreme. Tim had to put his beard on. Dan had to clean all the paint off himself. So actually, when the paint pour that's like halfway through was Aaron, one of the other directors, he was running around with the camera with a monitor and a wireless feed to that. And it was up to him if he thought the take so far wasn't that good, if it was worth pouring the paint on Dan or not. He would cut it if it wasn't. So we got about 30 times. Yeah, I think as far as the practical thing goes, I think there is so much CG VFX out there that it is an interesting direction to like try and get back to something practical and get that through the medium of film. I think it's certainly a direction that's happening a lot more and more, and I think there's a whole kind of revolution of like tangible things and like the makers out there and 3D printing and everything. I think there is like a real challenge to do something that's not simply just totally made in CG. And then to take it to an extreme and do it all practical, I think is pretty cool. And I don't think it's definitely totally where things are going, but it's something that's cool and I really like it. I think music videos are, as a format, are great because they're short. Because I think when I make anything practically, like I make a lot of machinery and stuff myself, I always think of the performative aspects of things and the arc as like in a song. Like I think it's perfect because musically a good song starts and finishes amazingly, and if you can do that with a story, it can be perfect. I think a feature film is daunting because it's so massive and has so many arcs. It's like a music video is like you can do them quickly, relatively quickly, and they're just totally satisfying. I think the festival is amazing and plays a very important role. I personally have been in my hotel room a lot of the time working, but I think just from what I've seen, it's super impressive, and the community that it brings together is super supportive, and I'm amazed by that. Just the vibe here is amazing.